So we're just going to start standing then today. Have your blocks and your blanket handy. So when we do get to the floor, we'll spend a little more time on the floor, but let's just stand up for right now and get a real fresh perspective. From at the end of the day, inhale and then exhale, bring the arms back down. Really like to just reach out, reach up with a wide, confident stance. So this is what I call my supportive stance or confident stance, where your feet are a little bit wider than the hip. Earth and sky breath, inhale, and then exhale, bring the hands out straight to the side. We're gonna flex the palms and take small circles. So keep the strong stance, breathing in and breathing out. So there's that calm Ujjayi breath, and watch that your torso is not going, wonky forward and back, but it's really strong and steady. And that's going to be helpful to press the feet into the floor, get anchored, little tiny circles. Inhale, look to the right. Exhale, look to the left. Inhale, right. Exhale, left. Inhale. And exhale, one more. Full range of motion through the neck. And then take the arms all the way overhead. We're going to touch the fingertips together here. Palms to the sky, bicep to the ear, and then exhale. Bring the fingertips together. Now the palms facing up. So we're making a little cradle here in the front. Inhale overhead. And exhale back down. Same earth and sky, but we're getting the wrist involved. Full breath in, Ujjayi breath with, with intention. And then relax the arms at your side. We're going to shake the hands out. Shake the wrists and the arms, and then let that move into the shoulder, torso, hip, and then shake it out the legs. And then pause, still in that confident stance. Drawing the breath in, drawing the breath out. Let the head kind of relax on top of the shoulders, ear in line with the shoulder. Inhale the arms straight out, flexed palm, and let's circle backwards. Again, the rib anchor will come in handy here. So we're not popping out at the rib, but we're holding that anchor pretty tight. Inhale to the left, exhale to the right. Inhale and exhale. This has gotten easier over the last couple of weeks. We've been practicing this. The first time I did it, felt super uncoordinated, moving my head and then circling back. It's always one that was a little more difficult than the other. Let me see what happens here. Bring your head to center and the back of the palms together. So we'll caw like a bird, and then exhale, flex through the hand and bring your palms to your side. Inhale, flexion, fingers pointing down, touching the back of the wrist, and then exhale, the hands come by your side. One more time, inhale. And exhale, so you're getting full wrist action. And then again, shoulder roll, shrug forward, up and back and down. Shake the hands out. Shake the arms out. We'll do one more big, vigorous whole body shake. And even the head. And take the ears to your shoulder. No, shoulder to your ear here like this. Shrug. And then exhale, drop it with a ha. We'll do that 12 times. Ha, 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 ha. 2, last one. And then just shake it out. Take the ear to your shoulder. One side, I'm going my right, your left. We'll extend the right palm out and hug it close to your side. As you drop the palm in, the arm by your side, and flex the hand, you're going to increase that openness from shoulder all the way up to your ear. We'll take that one step further by circling the left arm up and around the head. Push the side of the head into the hand. Take a full breath in and a full breath out. Gentle extension. Let's take one more breath. This is really good and calming. And then gently release. You can drop the chin to the chest and then roll up to the center, or just tilt the head back up to center and give it a little bobble. Infinity sign with the nose, so I'm drawing a sideways 8. Yeah. Then we'll bring the ear, shoulder up to your ear again and let it out with a ha. 12 of these. Here we go. Ha, 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 ha. Really let the shoulders drop. 4, 3, ha, 2, ha, 1, ha. And then drop the ear to your opposite shoulder. And we'll take the left arm out, flex the fingers, and bring the palm to your side. Full breath in, full breath out. We'll take it a step further. So bringing your right arm around, just place the hand on the cheek, side of the head, just above the ear or on the ear, and then push the head up into the hand, not the other way around. We're attempting to really kind of open up that space, very gentle, with breath, with awareness. Now my head did not like that half roll down, so I'm going to bring my hand to the other side and gently help my head back to center, and then take it in a figure 8 until it feels like it's settled back onto the axis, and back onto the axle. Right? And bring your feet together. Let's come to the top of the mat. Take the arms up overhead. Inhale. Exhale, forward fold. I'll turn to the side here. Inhale, half lift. Bend your knees here. Bring the shins to the hands, hands to the shins, and push against each other. So you feel some extension through the spine. Exhale, round it down and in. Inhale, let's come all the way back up to center. With a little bend in the knee, flat back, and then straighten the legs, pushing the floor away. Hands to the sky, exhale, hands to the heart center. Now, one more of those. Inhale, reaching up. Exhale, forward fold. Inhale, half lift. Exhale, fold in. Inhale, let's come all the way back up to standing. Palms together at heart center. With a series A, this time reaching overhead. Exhale, forward fold. Inhale, a half lift. We'll step back into a full plank. On the top of a push-up here, bring the knees to the floor and take chaturanga, elbows bending almost to the floor. Hips and shoulders the same distance away, and then lower the hips and come into a low cobra. Just going to hold that low cobra for a moment and give it a little sway side to side, staying out of your low back and pulling the chest forward, shoulders back, and pull the belly in firm along with the rib cage and take it back into downward facing dog. So this happens to be my first downward facing dog of the day, and I'm really feeling a lot of stretch in the back of the leg, if that's the case for you. Move in an appropriate way to help release some of that tightness. The fascia is in the shape that we most often take if you've been seated today or working vigorously. For me, it was a lot of squats today, and so that area is a little bit tight. Take the feet up to the hands. Inhale, half lift. Exhale, fold in. Inhale, let's come all the way up to standing. Palms together at heart center. And we'll do that again. Inhale, reaching. Exhale, forward fold.
Inhale, half lift. It's starting to be a little more fluid. Step or jump back. Chaturanga. It's your choice. Knees on or off into low cobra or an upward facing dog. So my suggestion, if you're just getting back into the swing of things, go a little easy. I wouldn't say easy, but just mindfully through that. So perhaps the low cobra is better in this instance. We're going to take the right leg to the sky here and give our hips a little warm up. So bending the knee. I like to open the hip and then close the hip. So inhale, we're stacking hip on hip. Keep your left leg centered, okay? And then exhale, close the hip. So it's not like we're pushing the hip to the side or taking that leg out to the side. It remains very steady and straight. One more time and hold. Rotate through the ankle. And then we'll take the right knee across to your left elbow, right elbow, and then sweep it back up, making a big figure eight. So we're going to take a huge circle through the hip, just 3 of them, and then step it all the way through on the outside of your right hand. Okay, so we're in the low lunge. Pause, catch your breath, use a block on the inside of the ankle, and then straighten the front leg. So now we're in more like a pyramid, your back heel is pressing towards the floor, your front heel pressing into the mat, and then draw your right sit bone back. And then exhale, bend the front knee and come back into the lunge. Inhale, straighten, exhale into the lunge. We're going to add 3 lion's breaths here. So inhale, and exhale is lion's breath. Soft roar, the tongue comes all the way out to your chin. The eyes are at your nose. Step all the way back, downward facing dog. Inhale, top of a push-up. Exhale, chaturanga. Inhale, low cobra. Whew. And then exhale back into downward facing dog. Already my arms are tired, so if you need a break, take a break. I'm going to go on that second side. So the left leg sweeping up, bend the knee, and then open the hip here. So we're stacking hip on hip. And then you're going to rotate the hip back towards the floor and square. You'll feel this definitely in your standing leg, the Achilles, the back of the leg, even your IT band are going to work. If you want to manage that or eliminate some of the strain on it, bend your knees slightly. Keep the ribs in, keep the hip open, and rotate through the ankle. Okay, your ribs can't poke out. You got to pull them in. Telling myself that. And we'll take a big figure eight. So left knee to right elbow, and then sweep it through. We're going to be off our arms in just a minute. They're really taking it. Step all the way around, your left hand coming into low lunge. Whew. If you've got a block handy, let's place it inside your left ankle. We'll straighten the front leg, tip the toes to the sky, dig the heel in and pull back till your sit bone is drawing back and you feel a pretty good stretch on the back side of the leg. Then we'll come back into low lunge. On the exhale, inhale, straighten the leg, lion's breath. Inhale, straight leg. Exhale, soft roar. 2 more. Maybe 8 total. All the way back, downward facing dog. Come up high onto the balls of the feet here. Bend your knees. We're going to crunch or crouch back and then spring forward. Half the length of your mat or the full length, your choice. Plant the hands, trust that your hands and paws are going to really anchor you so you can jump forward. Inhale, half lift. Exhale, fold in. Inhale through standing. Reach the palms up and the hands to your heart center. So we'll take a little
break with the breath right here. Full breath in, full breath out. And then step your right leg back, hands to the waist. Leaning forward in a crescent lunge. So your back heel is going to be popped up. We're just going to give your ankle a little pulse action here up on the top ball of the foot and then press back into the heel. Ball, heel, ball, heel, and then hold it somewhere right in between. Raise the torso up, take the arms overhead. Inhale. Now hold the back leg steady. Just take a diagonal position as you bow forward. Inhale, pull the ribs back and lift. Exhale, bow forward. Inhale, mouth awareness. And exhale. Inhale here, the arms are going to come back at the same time the leg comes forward and we hover. Then press the right leg back, arms to the sky, exhale, Lotus Mudra, so the hands come in a fist by your side. And exhale, hover twice more. Inhale, step back. Exhale, hover. Now we're going to speed it up. Inhale, exhale with a ha. Ha. Ha, 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 ha. Last one. Step back. Plant the hands to the earth and step all the way back into downward facing dog. It's a great way to wake ourselves up. Inhale to plank. Exhale, chaturanga. Inhale. Low cobra or upward facing dog. Exhale back into a downward facing dog. Come up high onto the balls of the feet here. Inhale, exhale, bend the knees and then spring forward, half or full length. Inhale, half lift. Exhale, fold in. Inhale to standing. Bring the hands to your heart. Definitely feeling the heart rate like pump up right there. So take a breath. We're going to do the same thing on the second side. So a big step back with the left leg. That's a pretty giant step. You have a leg's length between your front leg and your back leg, and on separate train tracks. Plant the hand on the front knee so you have a little more steadiness. And then we'll pulse the back heel up and down, up on the ball of the foot and pressing back. And just really start to ignite the power of the toes and move some of that fascia, open it up a little bit and hold the back foot steady. Inhale the arms overhead. Exhale, take a bow forward. Float the fingertips in that jet airplane. Inhale, reach up. Exhale, comes forward, a little bow. Holding the belly firm and strong. Inhale, last time, bowing forward. Now our next iteration on the exhale, we're going to step forward and hover. So left knee is above the earth, hands in Lotus Mudra. Inhale, step back, arms to the sky, exhale, pull forward. Inhale, and exhale. Let's go one more time slow. We'll do 9 pretty fast. Here we go. Ha. Ha, 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 ha. 4 more, ha. 3 more, 2 more, ha. Last one, ha. Step back and hold. Plant the hands to the floor. Chaturanga. Exhale. Inhale, upward facing dog. Exhale, downward facing dog. Come up high onto the balls of the feet, bend your knees. Again, we have that little crouching tiger, jump half or full length of your mat. Once the feet reach, inhale to flat back. Exhale, fold in. And inhale, come all the way to standing. Palms together at your heart center. Deep breath in, deep breath out. Again, catching our breath a little bit. So I want you to take your hands and just make a figure 8. Really nice infinity sign.
And then back it up. Go the opposite direction. That might feel a little bit awkward. You got it. We're going to end with some forward folds at the end of class, but right now an arm balancing. So open, close the hand, just making a really strong fist, and then opening the palms, close. Inhale, open, exhale, close. With the breath. And then let's take it a little bit faster. Inhale, exhale. Inhale, open, close, exhale. Keep the fist closed, rotate around. Drop the knuckles in and down. You look like little puppy paws. And then open. And stretch the palms flat. Shake it out. We're going to come back to the middle of the mat. Here, toes are going to be slightly turned out. We'll bring the hands together in a prayer position and then set your elbows against the knees. So as you go down into the squat, watch that the knees don't buckle in. Okay, they should be going out. You can see I'm full-legged right now. And if I go down a little bit further, I'm going to touch my elbow to the knees, pull the waistline back, and my shin is perpendicular to the floor. So my hips have to go pretty far back to counterbalance the weight. Okay, so my weight counterbalance the Achilles, because your Achilles might not have that flexibility, and you could bring your heels up a little bit on a blanket. Inhale, straight up, exhale, touch elbows to knees. Try not to bring your torso forward too much. So from the side, it looks like this. You can see my head coming slightly forward, maybe 4 to 6 inches. But for the most part, it's straight down. So I'm keeping the knees perpendicular. And watch as you come up, when you press into the heels, don't let your knees buckle in. They're going to stay in that frog leg position. One more time. Exhale down. Now watch your knees. Press down through the heels. Squeeze the inner thighs. And your knees should follow the same trajectory as the second, third toe, right? Take it out. Then we'll come into all the way into a squat. So what that looks like is from here, bringing your elbows inside the knees and then dropping the hips. Shins are still perpendicular to the floor. So some friends are going to want a block behind the hips, and maybe you want to block while I talk. Some friends are going to be suited with their heels on the ground, feeling just great in a squat. We're getting ready for gardening right here. We're going to come in and out of this pose. So the feet are going to go from turnout to parallel just by shifting the heel outward. Plant the hands forward, and if you have a block handy, might be helpful. So one block forward, one block back. You can use them or not. We're going to push the floor away, come into a straight leg, forward fold with a flat back. Exhale, fold in. Inhale, extend forward again, flat back. Exhale, move the heels in and come back into Malasana. You can keep your hands on the block and you touch the back block or not. Inhale, lift the hips, keep your knees in the same trajectory and then parallel. Exhale, fold in. Inhale, flat back. Exhale, heels in, toes out, Malasana. Twice more. Inhale, push the floor away, squeeze the inner thighs, feet parallel. Exhale, fold in. Inhale, half lift. Exhale, back into Malasana. I'm going to show this from the side view. Your hips could be all the way down. Inhale, parallel feet, flat back. Exhale, fold in. Inhale, flat back again. Exhale, heels in, toes out. And now we're going to hold Malasana and come into Bakasana, separating the palms, bring your wrist shoulder width apart, your arms bend at a 90-degree angle, and we're going to shift forward and plant the hands. This is where you absolutely get to come up onto the balls of the feet. The knees, we're going to hike right up towards your armpit. You shift the weight forward. Practice pressing into the mound of the fingers so they have a stopping action, and then walk your feet in. And just hold this toe steady to the floor until you feel the hover action of the parachute up and lift of the rib. Okay, so my feet are up, and it's not because I lifted my feet off the ground, it's because I lifted the ribs away from the floor. So I parachute here, and that gives me lift ability with the feet. We'll come out of that for a moment, rest your wrists. My wrists feel great. If your wrists are having issue with this, let's not take the second one. You can just stretch out the wrist. For the second one, I want to show you Bakasana with a block. So show it with the right foot on. That's the foot that's going to stay on the block. So we start the same way. Hands are about 12 to 18 inches away from the feet. And you're just going to shift that weight forward again. Keep your toe on the block on the right side and lift the left foot to your right. Then you're in a great position that if that toe comes off the block, great. If it doesn't, great. So just a balance act here. Feel into which one works for you. And if you want to go more advanced, you keep the toe on the block and extend left leg back, and then bring it back in. Extend it again. That's going to help you get the lift you need in the abs. Good. Then release the feet back to the earth. Inhale, shake it out. Exhale, fold in. Shift the block to the other foot. We'll try it one more time. Definitely getting our cardio in here a little bit. This is intense for me. Been moving all day. My arms are not that strong. So we're going to shift again. This time the left toe stays on the earth. Right foot lifts, if you can see that. And then they come together, possibly. And then possibly extend the right leg and bring it back in. That in and of itself, even when I have the toe down, is super hard to do. Okay. Come back out, release the hands. Bring each hand under the sole of the foot. Inhale, half lift. Exhale, fold in. Releasing the back of the neck. Release the head. And let's give a little massage to your wrist. That's definitely a little bit intense. Inhale here, half lift. Exhale. Let's step your right leg back and spin the heel to the floor, coming into a side angle. Right arm comes around. Side angle, left leg is forward. Inhale, let's reverse it into a reverse warrior. Full breath in, full breath out. Exhale, side angle again. Inhale, reverse warrior. Exhale, touch the earth, side angle. Inhale, let's bring it all the way back up. And then switch sides. So you'll bring your left foot in, right foot out. Do warrior two. Reverse warrior. Exhale, side angle. You're starting here at the elbow on the knee. Reverse the warrior. So touch the earth if you'd like. You could use a block there. You could also, you always have the option of bringing the elbow to the knee. So this is a little more intense. Bring it to the floor, and then as you reach back up, come through that reverse warrior. Now warrior two, let's switch to the first side again. So all 10 toes to the front. Exhale into warrior two. Let's take a side angle. We come all the way to and touch the earth. Right arm bicep to your ear. So you're stretching forward here. Hold 3.
breaths if you want to take a bind. That's a possibility too. One more breath. Unwind, come all the way back up, straighten the leg, and take triangle pose. Again for 3 breaths. I adjust that microphone, there we go. 3 breaths here. Coming back into warrior 2 from triangle is a bending the front knee and then a lift with your oblique, and we'll switch sides. Chain the arms, your right toes out. A warrior 2 here, reverse warrior. Come all the way into side angle. This one bicep to the ear. We're going to hold it for a couple breaths, and you're welcome to take the arm all the way back to your back pocket and just open there, or you shoot the opposite arm underneath, catch the hands on the other side, and that would be our bound side angle. Really engage the hamstring, lift all the way back up, straighten the front leg, triangle pose. Shift forward and the hand to the shin. Take your left arm to the sky, and I hope if you haven't done yoga for a while, this is a good complete circuit. Do what you can. Take a breath or breaks when you need them. One more deep breath here in triangle pose. We're going to lift it all the way back up to center in warrior 2, and then bring it to the center. So all 10 toes are going to face forward, parallel. Inhaling, the arms out. Exhale, clasp the hands behind the base of the spine. Drop the knuckles down, and then take a full breath in as you lift the heart to the sky. Engage the quads, and then fold forward. You're hinging right here. Pause with a flat back. Keep the energy in the inner thighs hugging. Pull your ribs in, and then take it a little further, a little further, a little further until the head essentially comes very close, if not to the floor. Possibility, the arms are coming overhead. If that's a strain on the back, let me explain a strain on the back. If you're here halfway, not past 45, that's too much for the back. So bring your hands to a block. Okay. Or you can bring your head to a block. That's more than 45. And that's gravity with you, working with you instead of against you. Your whole back and spine is elongated. Take 2 more breaths. Then we'll bring the arms back out. To the floor. Lift to a flat back. Plant your right hand. Take your left arm to the sky and a twist. Nice, easy twist. Full breath in, full breath out. Remember to relax the neck and shoulder. And then replant the left hand to the floor. Right hand comes all the way up. Over your shoulder. Straight up, 12 o'clock. Nice open shoulder. And the right hand back to the earth. Turn the toes out, heels in. Hinge back. You can lift the toes. And then drop it over to your right side, elbow to knee. Now this is like a half malasana, yes? Because the shin is still perpendicular to the floor. Knee is still tracking over the second and third toe. And if you want to bring the hips down, you have to go backward. So the shin stays perpendicular, right? Not the knee coming over the toes and the heel lifting. Heel stays down. Walk it over to the left. Same thing, right toes tipping upward. Dig the heel in, engaging the hamstrings and giving a little lift. So a tone to the foot that's on the ground, just pressing down. Lift the hips, and then we'll go back to the first side. This time elbow to knee. You're going to point the fingers at the toe. So
Left hand points to the left toe. Come to center, right fingers point to the right toe. I'm in Prana Mudra, so thumb, ring, and pinky finger together. Peace fingers are pointing. Inhale, exhale, let it flow side to side. Inhale, center, exhale, float. I'm not going down too far because I won't be able to get back up. So only bend as far as it feels good to you. You can always take a hand to the bent knee and keep the hands here for support. Right. Last one. Let's turn over to your left. Plant the hands and step all the way back downward facing dog. Inhale to a high push-up. Plank position, chaturanga down. Into an upward facing dog. Strong legs, powerful pointing, the toes down and the tops of the feet pressing into the earth. Exhale, release that back into downward facing dog. Bring your knees to the floor and sit back on your heels, child's pose. Just take 3 to 5 deep breaths. Charging the battery, so to speak. So your forehead stays on the ground. You're engaging in a full breath to the back body. Side body is expanding. You feel amazing. Full deep long breath in and full deep long breath out. Come back onto the hands and knees. We're going to take one more offering of the downward facing dog, and a variation of it. So take downward facing dog. Maybe your feet and your hands come slightly close together, slightly closer together, but the hips remain the apex of the pose. So we're not in a forward fold. It's still the downward facing dog. You root down with the left hand. So your right hand is free. This would also be called a three-legged down dog. And actually we call it the Parivrita Adho Mukha Svanasana. So we're twisting. You're holding right hand to left ankle, looking underneath your left shoulder. Full breath in, full breath out. And now let's bring it back to center. And exhale, take it to the other side. Right hand now anchors, left arm comes to the right ankle. And I see you. I'm looking underneath the armpit. I can see forward. The hips are going to want to move the direction you're twisting. So try to keep them centered, anchor the heels. If the knees are bent, that's fine. Just begin to straighten them the best you can. And come back to center. Downward facing dog. Bring the knees to the floor. Sit back on your heels. I want to get a little screaming toe here. So the hands walk back. And then open, close the fist. Inhale, exhale. Give your hands a little break. Exhale. Inhale, open, exhale, close. Last one, last one. Hands are gonna plant. We'll come into warrior. Not warrior. We'll come into a downward facing dog. I'd like you to watch this once because we're gonna go from 4 legs to 3 to 2. We've done it before, but it's a little intense. And you can modify by going here, 3 legs. In fact, let's do it here. This is 3-legged down dog. So you lift the left leg, 2-legged, right arm extends. I'm sorry, not downward facing dog. It's a kneeling tabletop. And then the hand grabs the foot. So we're going to do this posture, but from a downward facing dog. So what that will look like is a downward facing dog, the heels pressing down. I'm going to turn my right foot, toes out 10 degrees, not very much. And then anchor the right leg, left leg comes up and it's going to rotate in the opposite direction. And don't let your hips wane to the right. They need to stay centered. because the weight is in the left hand, not the right. So pull the ribs in. We go from 3 legs to 2 and possibly catch the foot. Okay, I'm going to try that from downward facing dog. Heels together, toes turned out at a slight angle. It just helps you have more surface area grounded in the foot. You don't have to do it that way, but it's a little trick. And then you're going to open, left leg comes to the sky, open the hip. Stacking hip on hip doesn't mean you're shifting the weight to the right. Keep it centered. Weight into the left hand, and then raise your right arm. Pull the ribs in, and then you can sweep around and clasp the foot if you'd like, or not. Bring it back to center and take a little break. So the second side, again, for a modification, we would simply come to hands and knees instead of downward facing dog. We raise the right leg, hamstring curl. Left arm comes around. Now we're in 2 legs, and we kick back and open the shoulder. Ooh, that was super good. It's a great precursor. So we'll take it from downward dog or repeat the one we just did. And this time, the left toes turn out slightly, 10 degrees. Right leg lifts, bend the knee, and anchor the hip directly over the ankle, right? Push the weight into the right hand, and then just test the waters here. Rib anchors up. This has to be pulled in tight through the belly. Catch the foot, possibly. And hold. Release, and come all the way back down. Knees to the floor. And then take your right knee behind the left. You come all the way down into Bakasana, cow face pose. So you sit back on your heels. I would definitely suggest that you bring a blanket underneath the hips. Ooh, that's a little more comfortable. So as you sit back, you get the comfort lift, and that's less bulky for the knees. Bakasana style here. Full breath in, full breath out. Walk it forward, or just lean forward, bow forward. Take the hips back into the mat or the blanket. And bow inward. Get a nice full stretch through the left hip. And come up, cross your right hand over to the left outer thigh, and then left arm to the right outer thigh. And come forward again. You can cross the feet. Not for everyone. That might be a little bit too much. So it's a great stretch for the shoulders. Another way of doing that is bring your right elbow underneath the left and take eagle arms, or just cross at the elbow and drop your shoulders down and pull the elbows against each other until you feel the satisfaction of stretching the upper back. Okay, you can do that. Fold it in as well. A lot of options on the arm. Ooh, that just feels so good. One more breath. We're going to switch to the other side, unwinding the arms, put the hands behind the hips. Actually, let's come forward. Let's come into this the same way we did the other one. So uncross, stretch your right leg out, left leg, come back into downward facing dog, and then drop the right knee. You're going to shift the right heel over And then bring your left knee behind the right, left ankle over to the right. Okay, so I'm kind of switching places with the ankles, crossing of the knees, backing up onto a blanket or a block or your mat, if that works for you. Make sure that both sit bones are secure. It's better for me to be on the mat, but some friends are going to really want that inch or two height can be very helpful, or even 3 or 4 inches if you have a thicker block. Take it forward. Full breath in, full breath out. Like your hips love this, especially before you go down for the night. Release the hips, otherwise they just get more jammed up as we curl into bed and we compress and contract, and the weight of gravity pulls us generally into a ball. Maybe you sprawl out, but we still have that collapsing energy, which, as we should, we want to open up the side body, open up the back. This is where we can cross the arms. So the left hand over to the right hip and the right hand over to the left. Bowing forward. That's an option. Breath steady. And the place I feel this mostly is my low back. There is some hip, but it's already open enough. That is my low back, especially when I fold in. Now you're going to feel it. Everybody feels it in a different place. If you want it in your upper back, you take eagle arm, raise and lower the elbows, and then you can take it forward, fold from that. Just hold it. No fidgeting, just keep a steady pace, steady rhythm of the breath. Moving through the shoulder blades. I mean, that doesn't get any better. That's just fantabulous. Let's release the arms. Now we're going to reach behind the hips. And please unwind the legs. Take them out straight and give them a little slap into the floor. A little tap here. Cross the right ankle over the left ankle. Also sit up tall, using your fingertips as kickstand. Inhale here, exhale, take your left hand to the right foot. Okay, we're going to open the right arm to the side wall. Inhale, exhale, close to the front. Inhale, open. And exhale, twist back to squaring over the stacked legs. Inhale, open. This might be for some more manageable with the bent knee on top. You get to choose. We'll hold the forward fold, one hand over the other, off the toe or ankle, and then lower the chest to the thigh. Keep the legs steady and active, even if they're in a bent position. Full breath in, full breath out. Two more breaths. And next inhale, let's come back up. The top leg, so your right leg is crossed. Let's draw that knee in to the chest, so you're standing on the right foot. Hug with the elbow and then use your obliques to twist back. Ooh, yeah. You're going to shift slightly off center with the sit bone. So your right hip goes back slightly and the left foot presses the left hip forward 1 millimeter or 2, not much. You extend the right arm back. If you want to hold this in a balance or challenge your abdominal region, you can open the arms wide. Inhale to center here, exhale. You're going to go up and over an invisible wall And just lean to the other side. Oh, all of this just feels so fantastic. And then come back to center, switch, so your right leg extends out straight. You can slap the back side of the legs again. Cross right or left ankle, this time over the right ankle. So the cross of the ankle, the legs are straight. You're in Dandasana, sit up tall. Your inhale and then exhale, take the opposite hand to foot. So it would be right hand to left foot. Inhale, open the left arm to the side wall. So we're going to twist. Exhale, rotate to the front. Inhale, open. Exhale, take a nice rotation towards the front. And inhale, open. Nice. Exhale, rotate. Last time. Inhale, open. Exhale, rotate front. Hand over hand to the foot. Bow forward and in. And take 3 to 5 long, deep breaths. Match the inhale with an equally long exhale. You can count in your mind to yourself 4 long counts or 6. And 6 equal long counts out. 2 more breaths. Go a little bit deeper, more inward, contemplative, reflective. Gently let's bring it back to center. Take your left ankle up to the right knee, so crossing over, hug the knee, and twist to your left. Again, there's this little subtle shift. The right sit bone goes just a little forward, and the left sit bone comes a little back. I'm exaggerating. It's just a millimeter, centimeter, maybe. Left arm reaching back, right arm reaching forward. Just try to hold in, plug navel to spine, use your obliques to do the twisting. Inhale, come back to center. And then exhale, drape over an invisible wall. And drop in. So much fun to play today. Let's go into a Shavasana. Take your time to get there. And if you need a little extra couple postures to make your way into Shavasana, I suggest Bakasana or Apanasana, twisting, baby, happy baby. And then gently make your way into a full peaceful posture, integration pose. Relax the head, neck, and shoulders. Relax the hips. Release and relax the arms to your side. With as much care as every other posture, make your way to that deep relaxation. Really put the awe in Shavasana. More quieting for the body. If it's helpful to quiet the mind and bring your attention to one anchor point, that could be something in your mind's eye that you anchor on, like a favorite tree or a vista, a picture, or it could be something physical like the palm of your hand. Go ahead and bring your attention to an anchor point in your mind's eye. As your mind starts to wander, back to the anchor point, whether that's palm of the hand or something that you imagined. It's also comforting to you. Oh, stay here at least a minute more. You're ready to come out of Shavasana. Take a deep breath into the belly. And the exhale through the fingers and toes. Being mindful to stay in that deep sense of restful state as you pull the knees together. Make yourself a hug rolling to one side. Pause for an acknowledgement. Give yourself the gift of gratitude from the inside out, releasing oxytocin, releasing the feel-good hormone when we live from a place of deep thankfulness. What are you thankful for yourself? I'm so grateful I showed up today to fill in the blank. So grateful for my legs that move and take me places, for my openness to explore the world. Let a smile come across the face as you come to seated position. Hands at the heart center. Let's form the Lotus Mudra. Padma, the 3 middle fingers coming apart from each other. Pinky and thumb and the base of the palm staying together. Full breath in, full breath out, and just note that the jewel of the heart of the lotus flower, much like we are, untouched and pristine, even though all around is a fiery furnace, mud, and muck, the things that we go through, there's a part of us that remains untouched. Tap into that wellspring of health, vitality, well-being, and consciousness. You are all that. Let us be as the lotus at home in the muddy water. Thank you so much. Namaste.